Hello, hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy Halloween. Happy October, end of October. How's it going, you guys? Good to see you. Good to see you. Hello, everybody in the house. I hope you're having a good week, good October, and that we're all gearing up for Halloween, my favorite holiday of all. Hope everybody's doing well. Hello, hello. Happy to be here, you guys. Happy to be here. We got some things to talk about, but first I want to see who's in the house with us this evening. Better Ray Bob, how you doing, my friend? Thanks for joining. Paul, how's it going, Paul? Good to see you. Good to see you, Jason. Greetings to you, Cantinians. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's copyright that right now. Let's trademark that. Cantinians. I like it. Susan, how's it going? I'm glad that you're here. Awesome. Very happy you're able to make it this evening. Awesome, awesome. Mary, how's it going? Always happy to see you, my friend. Thank you for being here with us tonight. Pico B1, how are you doing? Good to see you, of course. Adam, how's it going? Good to see you, Adam. Thanks for hanging out with us this Friday night. Tim, how's it going, Tim? We're going to talk about those reveals in a little bit. Utah, Don, how's it going? Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you, Pico B1. I appreciate that. Thank you, Better Ray Bob. Appreciate that. Dodgson, how's it going? Dodgson, copyright free music? No way, no way, man. I make all the music you hear on this channel for the last, like, ever really, is my own original music. It's not copyright free. It's not anybody else's music. It's my music. I make all the music. So that's totally me, totally me. Ed, how's it going, Ed? You're actually here. Wow, you made it. I'm shocked, man. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. Yeah, thanks, Britt. Thanks, Britt. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you for being here, Britt. Is that a actual candle? No, it's a teacup candle. It's a fake candle, in other words. So it's not real. It's not real. But yes, it is a McDonald's bucket. And in fact, last year I collected when they did it for the first time in who knows how many decades. Like I went and actively bought all 3 buckets. This time I didn't do that. I said, hey, I'm gonna go once. I'm gonna get a bucket. Whatever I get. I wanted the purple bucket because they didn't do purple last year. But I ended up with the green one, which is actually like Frankenstein's monster, I think. So that's what I ended up with. But it's all good, right? It's cool. Green would have been my second choice anyway, right? Because it's cool. Yeah, so many memories. I have fond memories of these little buckets. I remember going back, like going back to the mid 90s. I remember like the memories I specifically have are like my grandfather would pick us up from school, me and my siblings. And then he would take us to his work where my grandma was working as well. And every now and then he would pick us up a Happy Meal on the way on the way out of school to their work. And they would occasionally, when it was Halloween time, we would end up with the Halloween pails. So we would have, I remember like eating it there at their work and just sitting there. While my grandparents are working, like sitting like in the back office, and just like we'd be eating our Happy Meals in our Halloween buckets, and that's what it's all about, is the memories. So good times, good times. And I'm glad that they brought them back last year. I kind of wanted to collect them all again this year, but it's like, you got to kind of pick and choose. You can't buy everything, unfortunately. What if I could? If I had the room, but can't do that. Even I gotta have self-control sometimes. Now, if that's a Halloween fright for you, then it should be. Good to see you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Happy Friday. Happy Halloween. So let's talk about tonight. So this evening, we're going to talk a little bit about the 10/27 reveals or lack thereof from Hasbro's live stream that they were doing. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the new Grand Admiral Thrawn from Hot Toys. We're going to look at photos of that and see how awesome that looks. I'm going to talk about my new acquisitions from this week. And we're going to talk maybe some ghost stories towards the end. We're going to talk the new Haslab. We can't forget about the new Haslab, guys. So there is a brand new Haslab, and it is for Ghostbusters. And I'm not going to talk about the specifics quite yet, but we will talk about it shortly. And I'll let you know whether or not I have backed it already. Because maybe I have. All right, let's see here. Let's see what's going on. All right, what do you guys want to talk about first? Why don't we talk about 1027? 1027. Let's see here. Bum, ba-da-dum, bum. 1027. It's 10. No, it is 1027. Kind of a weird. I don't know why they call it 1027. I mean, I do because it's 1027, but it's kind of weird. Like, why not call it like the October live stream or like the Halloween live stream? Or that's oddly specific. 1027. Like, it's not going to age well, like beyond today, essentially. Like, and they really hyped up this 1027 thing, like, oh, 1027, yeah, 1027, 1020, like, cool. But did it live up to the hype? Did it live up to all the promo? Did it live up to the advertisements, the outrageously mildly fun advertisements they did for the Haslab? Did it live up to that hype? We're going to talk about it. We're going to find out, and we're going to have a good time, because this is our essentially our Halloween live stream, right? All right. Let's start off with some Star Wars. As you guys know, I like to use the Yak Face Instagram account because he's always posting the news. He's always quick. Jason, been a while since we've had him on Cantina Social Hour, but I'm sure we'll have him on again before too long. All right, let's talk about 1027. So this whole 1027 thing, like, really, I don't know how many of you guys know this, but some of you probably do. It actually leaked because whoever's in charge of the Hasbro Pulse YouTube, they put it up too early. They put it up hours too early, and it actually, all the stuff that they wanted to... All right, then. All the stuff they wanted to reveal for 1027 got put up on accident. I don't know if it was on accident. It got put up too early. So, yeah, people started knowing what was coming out before it was time to know about it. But yeah, let's talk Star Wars. Essentially, there were 2 reveals for Star Wars. Now, I thought, given the hype, that this was going to be like a really big thing. I was like, oh, what are they going to talk about for the Vintage Collection? What are they going to talk about for the Black Series? Probably going to be a good number of reveals because they're hyping up this 1027 thing to be big. But it wasn't quite the case. So basically what it ended up with was, for the Vintage Collection, Cassian Andor. We knew this was coming. I think it was at San Diego Comic-Con that they pipelined it. And they said, yeah, it's basically that figure from years ago that we already issued in TVC 2.0, sold in the Black Series 3 3/4 inch back in 2016. It's the same figure, but now it's got photoreal. And we were all like, oh, all right. Didn't really think we needed that, but okay. So, we wait. Sometimes when they announce things that seem a little perplexing, I like to give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, let's just wait and see. Maybe they made some other tweaks we're not aware of. Maybe there's something else different here, but nope. It's the same figure from before. And here's a picture of it loose, and I think it looks worse. I think it looks worse than it did before. What I'm a little confused of, like, they made the Vintage Collection Cassian Andor based on Andor and like the recent ones, and they look good. They look a lot better than this. Why didn't they just pull the head from the Aldani mission or from the just the standard Andor Cassian Andor figure and put it on this figure? But that head on this body, because it's far better than this head. This head, like, even with the photoreal, it just doesn't look right. Maybe the final product will look better. Maybe it'll look like this. Either way, it doesn't look great. So for that to be the one TBC reveal, it was really disheartening. And I know they have London, I think London Comic Con going on this weekend, and they got a thing going on there. I'm sure they're going to reveal more, but they hyped up this big 1027 thing, and then, yeah, this is it for TVC. Why not space out the events then? If they knew they were going to go to London Comic Con, why not space out the events and not do it on 1027? Or, maybe instead of 1027, it's 11/7, or I don't know, 10/15, or, just space it out a little bit more. Like, they hyped us up so much, and this is the only TVC reveal that they announced, and it was something we already knew about. It was something nobody was excited for, so it really wasn't a great reveal, to be honest. So that was for the vintage collection. For Black Series, there were 2 reveals. The first one here is Paz Vizsla from The Mandalorian. Already been released in Black Series, already been released in the Carbonized collection, already been released in the Credit collection. So this is basically the 4th time this figure comes back out, and now this time it's just the same figure. Like they didn't even make it specific to the Book of Boba Fett, where now he has like those glowing things on his arms, the little shields. They couldn't even be bothered to include those, which, okay, but it's like, this thing's going to cost what? It's going to be a big figure. It's probably going to cost $30 or more. I don't know. You guys can tell me what the price is on it, but again, just disappointing. Like, we have this figure and they said, yeah, but we want to get him out in the new box. I mean, honestly, who cares about the new box? Who cares about the new box? I mean, it's not, are they going to release every figure that's was released from 2013 to 2020 when this line look changed in the new packaging? I don't think so. This figure is gonna not sell. It's gonna peg warm. It's gonna sit on Amazon.com, on Entertainment Earth. It's the same figure. If you would have mixed it up, changed the deco, put the shields on there, give more accessories, maybe some stab wounds. Oop, yep, I went there. Some stab wounds or something where you put him under the water, you pull him out, and he's got stab wounds on him. Maybe it would have been better. I don't know. But as it stands, this is a pretty lousy, this is a pretty disappointing thing to announce. I mean, nobody asked for this. And, I get it. I'm sure there's new Black Series collectors, but this isn't hard to get. If you really want Paz Vizsla, you can get Paz Vizsla. Maybe not in this packaging, but you can get Paz Vizsla. He wasn't hard to get the first time. And then they had him in carbon, the carbonite version and the Credit collection. So, oh, well, what can you do? It is what it is. All we can do is chat about it, you guys, and react. That's what we're doing. The other one, now this one, I will admit, was exciting. I was excited about this release. I do love my clones. I do love Jedi figures. I don't care what scale it's in. I love them both. And Mace Windu we've had before, but we've never had him with these arm gauntlets like from the Clone Wars in 6-inch. They did the first Mace Windu based on Attack of the Clones. They did the second one based on the Clone Wars micro series, the Tartakovsky series, and this one is based more on the Clone Wars, the 2008 series. So I'm happy to see it, but I'm especially happy about the clone because, as they alluded to in the live stream, or it wasn't a live stream really, it was pre-recorded. As I mentioned, this did come out in 3 3/4 inch back in 2006. It was released part of a battle pack in this exact deco. That was the first time we had ever seen it. Like, it was a Hasbro creation. Then it started showing up, I think, in comics and became a little more canon. And then in the Clone Wars, the animated Clone Wars in 2008, like, these guys didn't look like that. The 187, they had brown on them. They looked different. And they already released that in Black Series. So it's kind of cool that they're releasing the purple look in this version, because the purple look to me is rad. And I know it's ridiculous. Mace Windu has a purple lightsaber. He's got a purple Jedi Starfighter. He's got a purple droid. He's got purple clone troopers. Yeah, it's ridiculous. But I was a fan of those 3 3/4 inch clones with this paint deco, because it actually had metallic deco. There was even one that in the pack, I think multiple in the pack, they had like a pauldron, and this one doesn't have it for some reason. So I would have liked to have seen the pauldron. But it's nice. I don't think this one has the metallic deco. I can't really, doesn't look like it does. But that was one of the really cool features about the original one. And, like I said, I love my clones. I love the Clone Wars. And, I want this. I haven't pre-ordered it yet, but I do want it. Because I love that look, and just the richness of the deep purple color is really nice. So I was excited about this. This one is a Pulse exclusive and Shop Disney exclusive, and I think you can get it on Pulse already. I haven't bought it yet, but yeah. So that was probably the most exciting from the Hasbro Star Wars reveals, and that's not really saying a lot because there were only 3 of them, and 2 of them were repacks. So yeah, again, London Comic Con is I believe it's called, is going to be starting. Is going on right now, and they have a presentation going on for that, so I'm sure there's going to be more there. But again, they just really hyped up this 1027 to be like a big thing, and it really fell flat on its face. There wasn't much there's not much for me to talk about because it's just kind of, it was a week. Um, and like, there's just not really anything too strong here to discuss. So that's kind of that. And that was basically all they had for PulseCon, or for PulseCon, for 1027. So that is a shame. I think since we last had Social Hour last week, there was also another announcement, another release for the Black Series, and that is Starkiller. So as you guys know, Starkiller was part of a bigger SDCC exclusive, not SDCC, a PulseCon exclusive pack that came with 2 Stormtroopers and all these blast effects. All right, and you know, I didn't buy it. 5 years ago, I would have been all over it, but it's like the price these days, and you know, I already have Stormtroopers. It's like, I'm not going to spend $111 or whatever it costs to get that. So I knew this was going to happen. It just makes sense. They're not going to not release Starkiller by himself. So here's Starkiller, Galen Merrick himself. It looks good. This one I did pre-order because you know, I was waiting for just the standalone pack. Yeah, so that is basically all there's been this week. We can talk a little bit about. Oh, it actually sold out. Check this out, you guys. It sold out. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? I wouldn't have expected that to have sold out, but it did. A lot of this stuff is sold out, actually. Not Kazian and not Paz, because obviously they wouldn't sell out. But did you guys see these Spider-Man reveals? These are pretty cool. Like, I know people are talking about that this doesn't look like it has an ab crunch. I'm not sure if that's the case. I know in this stream they were going over articulation for this figure, and they didn't mention an ab joint. So maybe it doesn't have an ab joint, but I find that hard to believe. I'd be inclined to think it does have an ab joint in there somewhere, because for them not to include it, seems weird. But I think this looks great. You know, I don't buy too many Marvel Legends these days, but this is one I would probably get for sure, because I just like the jacket, and it's just kind of cool. It's a unique look for Spider-Man. So I think I would do it. They also announced this version of Spider-Man right here, the Scarlet Spider, and you know, not really for me, but cool to see. The one that I thought was also kind of cool was Jack-o'-lantern. You know, fitting Halloween that they would announce Jack-o'-lantern. But here's Jack-o'-lantern. Looks good. Looks good. I might pick that one up. Yeah, and that's basically that. You know, there was some G.I. Joe stuff. There was some other things, Transformers, I believe, but stuff that I don't really follow. But so we'll talk about the big reveal here. You know, this was, if there was anything that this stream should have been, it should have just been the Haslab, honestly. The Haslab, as you can see, it's Ghostbusters, which is nice. I think we're getting to the point where we're going to have Haslabs like clockwork. They're going to be continuous. They're going to be just coming. Once one ends, another's going to start. I think that's how it's going to be from now on. We're not going to go like months without a Haslab anymore. I don't think. I think we're going to just have continuous Haslabs. Which, you know, if you're picking and choosing, you know, like I am with Haslab, that's fine. But if you're all in, I don't know many people that are all in on all the Haslabs, but I know there are some people that buy all the Haslabs, then that's probably going to be kind of rough to be buying all of these. But Giant Man funded in the last few hours of the campaign, and now we're on to Ghostbusters. So I, for one, am excited to see this. I did purchase the Proton Pack. I was one of the Haslab backers for that. And you know, I think we all knew it was only a matter of time before they did the PKE meter, did the Ghost Trap, and those are really essential. Honestly, I got my Proton Pack, like, it must have been like January or something, and I haven't even opened it, like the box. Like, I just haven't had an opportunity to do that. But you know, I do have the Neutrona wand, and now we're getting these are really the only other 2 essential accessories. Maybe they'll do Ray's goggles at some point. I think that'd be pretty cool. But what I want to see them pivot away from for the next Ghostbusters Haslab is do something like cool for Plasma series. Like give us a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man that's like 24 inches tall, the size of Colossus, or maybe not that big, but like a big, like one that'll interact with the Plasma series. That'd be pretty cool. Or even one that maybe would go with like the retro Ghostbusters, because I mean they did one, but like a bigger one that would kind of go with that smaller scale. Or even do the real Ghostbusters. Like if they're not going to do those in the main line, it doesn't seem like they are. I thought they were. Like if you would have asked me a few years ago, what are they going to do for Plasma series? I thought they were going to do all these cool things. But they didn't. They kind of just let it die, unfortunately. So I would have wanted to have seen the real Ghostbusters for Plasma series. It's so easy. All they need to do is repaint the outfits, new heads, slightly different accessories, just like Diamond Selected when they had the license for the 7-inch scale. That's what I would like to see. I would like to see those done. So for the next Haslab, you know, there's only so many things you can buy for role play from Ghostbusters. And they're not doing like they do with Black Series, where they do the helmets and the lightsabers, or Marvel Legends, where they do the masks. With Ghostbusters, you have to do it through Haslab because they're not selling the stuff that other way, which is kind of a bit of a bummer, but I kind of get it. Ghostbusters seems to be a little more niche than Marvel or than Star Wars, for better or for worse. And it's still one of my top 5 movies. I love Ghostbusters, always have. But yeah, I mean, I backed this already. You know, I have the Proton Pack. When I was a kid, I still remember waking up Christmas morning. I think it was 80. I don't even remember. I don't remember exactly, 88, 89. Still a little kid. And waking up and finding the big pack with the Proton Pack, the big box. Had the trap, had the Proton Pack, had the Neutrino Wand, had a big foam thing that you would connect to the Neutrino Wand, and you'd spin it and it would like rotate. It had a patch, like that. It had like a kind of like a watch. It had like a snap-on like band that you would put the patch on here on your arm. It was a great thing. It was one of the greatest Christmases ever. One of the greatest Christmas gifts ever. And I wish they would re-release that in the retro collection. So yeah, I'm disappointed that for Ghostbusters, they're not doing Plasma series. I'm disappointed that they're not doing the retro collection. Because look, I mean, the Ghostbusters retro collection was like one of the best action figure toy lines of all time. One of the best toy lines of all time. And, you know, I stand by that 150%. The playability was extensive. The playability was fun. It was an engaging toy line. It was really fun. And even though a lot of those figures weren't in the show necessarily, in the real Ghostbusters, they were still a blast. All the monsters and ghosts they created, all the versions of the Ghostbusters, the fright features, and I mean, it was all like fun. All the vehicles, the play sets, like they really milked that line, and it was awesome. So I personally would love to see. There's so much that they did back then. I question why they're not bringing some of that stuff back. I would love to see more of the retro collection. I would love to see more of those action figures. I would love to see more. They brought back the Ecto-1. Okay, bring back the Ecto-2. Bring back some of the role play. There's so much they could bring back, and I wish that they would. And Plasma series, again, there's plenty that can be done there. Yeah, you can only do the main core Ghostbusters so many times, and they already did the OG ones. They did the ones from Ghostbusters Afterlife. They haven't done Ghostbusters 2. They haven't done the real Ghostbusters. And they even did the glow-in-the-dark ones. Do you guys remember that? They did like glow-in-the-dark versions too. I think I picked up one of those. I forget who I picked up. It might have been Peter, but I just wanted to have just one because Peter was the one that got slimed. That's why it made sense to get him. But yeah, this is cool. $299.99, not terrible. A little pricey maybe, but I will say that the stretch goals on this seemed a little bit not terribly exciting, I guess. The stretch goals basically, even though the pieces themselves are nice, I wasn't too blown away by the stretch goals. You do get some neat extras in here, which is cool, but like patches and stickers, I mean, okay, there's not so much I'm personally going to do with that. I do think that the stretch goals, though, in terms of like the holster for the trap and the holster for the PK meter, that's cool. That's kind of cool. I do like that. I do like that. I mean, that would make sense. That would definitely make sense. As far as where this is right now, it's at 5,599 backers. It's more than halfway funded. This is going to fund. I'm not worried about it at all. It's gonna fund, and it might even be sooner than later. Stretch goals will probably hit all 3 stretch goals. I'm not too worried about that. I'm down. I'm down. I backed it. We got 45 days, I believe. Yeah, 45 days. So yeah, plenty of time to save up. I'm stoked. I'm gonna get that. Yeah, so that's basically the 1027. That's basically the Haslab. And they're these two things, the PK meter and the ghost trap, they do some pretty cool things. I would like to see more video on what they do exactly, but I did back them and I'm excited for them. But I want to see what you guys think. So I'm going to go into the, I'm going to look and see what your comments are because I haven't looked in a little bit. So let's see what's going on. Let's go see what's going on here. It's Hasbro's address. Oh, really? I didn't realize that. So 1027 is Hasbro's address, and it's 1027 the day. Interesting. Very interesting. Brit, and the hype for premium members never works because their stream always goes public. Yeah. So that is one thing that's a little frustrating is they said, hey, if you're one of those people that pay $50 per year to get your shipping and your perks, well, this is one of your perks, but it's not really a perk because we put it up early and anybody can access it that has the link. Yeah. I mean, if it was pre-recorded, then why not give it to Pulse premium members the day before and then put it out for everybody else the next day? I don't know. Mechanized, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. Stars very meh. Hopefully at London Comic Con they reveal and pipeline more TVC. I think they will. I definitely think that they will. G.I. Joe Classifieds got lucky. Did they, Tim? I didn't even look at what G.I. Joe was because again I don't really collect those. Was Kenzie and Andrew the only VC reveal? Yup, only one. Britt, I'm stoked for that Mason 2-pack. Pass repack was disappointing. Yeah, nobody asked for that. Jason, did your husband leave your new Mustang? Not yet, not yet. Car donuts are oddly satisfying. Am I weird? Is that completely valid? I'll give you that one, Dodge. I've never done it before, I don't think, but I'll give you that one. I'll take things that that should have been released when Andor was here. Yeah, essentially just that. Ghost slept too pretty. Yeah, the ghost, the car is the ghost. Yeah, it was pretty weak. Yeah, that is interesting too, Bert, huh? That they pipelined him with a picture of his new gear and then they did a repack. That's kind of messed up, to be honest. That ain't cool at all. That's messed up. Literally putting it in a box and calling it, basically Ollie's for $9.99. Yeah, and probably. And hello, welcome DJ 5000. That's interesting, Jason. Was Samuel Jackson movie called 187? Wasn't he? Interesting. Yeah, the purple thing is fun. I will say it's kind of ridiculous and silly, just as it was years ago, but it ain't bad. Sakic score 76. Welcome. I need purple clone in TVC. Yeah, I would love them to do a new one. I mean, but they got to fix that dang helmet first. They got to fix that helmet because that helmet just isn't doing it for me. They need to fix that helmet. Britt, this is funny. I noticed this as well when they mentioned that entertainment agnostic packaging. I was like, what in the hell are you talking about? Like, that is a weird thing to say. Like, I knew exactly what she meant. It's packaging that doesn't say a specific Star Wars film or show or game or whatever, but just the phrasing of that's like the most corporate thing I've ever heard in one of these streams. Entertainment agnostic packaging. It's like, all right. That totally comes from a whiteboard in one of the basements of a 1027 Hasbro address place, whatever it is. Like that was quite terrifying, honestly. Didn't season 7 clincher, but they already released retcon this purple clincher out of existence. I don't know. I don't know. They did the brown one, which is nice. I do have the brown one, and they also did the gray ones that have the same shock trooper packaging. Those were the Camino clones. And those are cool too. Really glad it went the Soviet exclusive because they dialed way back on accessories as a single. Yeah. Could the week showing 1027 be related to poor Hasbro stock report came out recently? I doubt it. I mean, if anything, you would think that they would ramp it up. But again, I think with London Comic Con happening, I think they kind of scaled it back. Again, the timing is just weird. Like, why not space out the event so that they could have revealed a little more? Because nobody was. I mean, I haven't heard anybody say that was a great stream or they were happy with the reveals. I mean, the Haslab, yeah, but not anything else really. Yeah, hello, Chosen One. Welcome. We didn't get Plasma Series 6-inch. Yeah, I'm bummed about that because, like I said, it seems like they've let that die. That whole line. Like, they started off pretty good. Like, I enjoyed getting the Terror Dogs and Louis Tully and Dana Barrett. Like, those were all fun, like, for the world, just for, like, expanding that line. But then they just kind of let it off. Like, where's everybody else? Where's everybody else? Where's my mayor? I want my mayor figure. I want my Janine. I mean, we need to have more of these. I want my real Ghostbusters. Those are the ones I want more than any other ones. Not a Ghostbusters collector, but if this Haslab doesn't pass, I would be sad. Yeah, I mean, you got to root for the other things that people want. I mean, I didn't back Giant Man. I didn't back the Rancor, other things. But, I felt bad for people that didn't get those things because they're cool. Did you pre-order the Hammond Collection Carnotaurus? I did pre-order that on Amazon. I think it said shipping in December. But I've heard people say that theirs have already shipped, so that's interesting. Maybe it'll get moved up. Ray Deathray, how's it going? Yeah, I'm excited about the Ghost Trap. That's going to be pretty cool. I don't know when I'm ever, like, I got to use it. If I'm buying this stuff, I got to use it. Like, I hope this stuff comes out before Halloween next year because then I can go as a Ghostbuster with my Proton Pack, my Neutrona Wand, my PKE meter, and my Ghost Trap, right? I mean, I got to do it. If these come out by Halloween next year, I'm going to do it. That's going to be my costume. I'm going to get, like, a custodial jumpsuit, spray paint my name on there or put a patch of my name or something. And yeah, that's going to be my costume next year because why not? Okay, on to Thrawn. Yeah, we gotta have Janine. Like, seriously, we really gotta have Janine. Yeah, I heard that too, Dodgson, about the Carnotaurus. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll talk about Thrawn. I'm just going to take a sip from my goblet here. We'll talk about Thrawn, then we'll move on to new things that I've added to my collection this week. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, we're going to move on to the Grand Admiral himself. So let me go ahead and pull up Sideshow's listing. All right, so here we are. This is the Hot Toys Grand Admiral Thrawn that was put up just last night on their social media pages, and he went up for pre-order this morning. And I've said it before, when it comes to Ahsoka, I'm all in with Hot Toys. Sabine Wren, Chopper, Hera, now Thrawn. No doubt in my mind they're going to do a new Ahsoka, probably Ahsoka the White. No doubt in my mind they're probably going to do Balin. They're probably going to do Shin, and they're probably going to do both of them before Hasbro does them in TVC. Happy Halloween. But yeah, take a look at this Thrawn, you guys. This Thrawn looks freaking cool. Look at that. That's a pretty cool little hologram thing. Like, I don't really care too much for those pieces, but I mean, look at this figure. Okay, he looks awesome. Yeah, he looks pretty darn remarkable. Separate rolling eyeballs, so that's something they've been doing with a lot of the newer figures. He's got that data pad thing that I guess talked about Anakin Skywalker being Ahsoka's master. The same base that we normally get with a lot of these figures. He's got quite a few hands for a guy that didn't really use his hands all that much in at least so far in Ahsoka. He's got a blaster. It's a really nice looking figure. It's a really nice looking figure. It looks just like Lars Mikkelsen. Looks great. Looks great. It looks really nice. The eyes just like, look at that. Check this out. He looks good. They did a great job. They did a great job. Like all you know, with Hot Toys, it's kind of hard because they're pricey. You know, I always do the payment plans, but I will, whatever else I have on pre-order right now, if I had to, I would cancel some of those if I had to, and go all in on Ahsoka, because these reveals from Ahsoka are among the best looking Hot Toys that Hot Toys have ever done. Sabine looked freaking cool. Hera looked amazing. Chopper was great. And Thrawn is they're keeping the momentum going. Like he looks amazing. He looks amazing. Yeah. Yeah, definitely need to get around to pre-ordering him. Yeah, he just looks great. He just looks great. I'm really happy with the direction Hot Toys is taking on these. Yeah, I mean, from any angle, really, like this list looks really good. This looks really good. I mean, they even like his proportions look nice. Like his body, like it looks accurate, I would say, to the show. Like it's nice. They did a good job. They did a good job. His rank badge looks great. All the elements of the costume. Now, I do worry a little bit with the white figures. Like I do have Director Krennic, one of my favorite Hot Toys. He's amazing, but he's all white, and so is Princess Leia from A New Hope. And you know, I do sometimes kind of worry. You know, I always, you know, I'm very picky and particular and anal about this stuff, so I always wash my hands and, you know, like with Dial, because I don't want any like scented or moisturizing soap. I always like get my, you know, before I handle my stuff. But I still kind of worry. I know some people use gloves to handle their Hot Toys. And maybe that's what I should do too. But I do kind of worry a little bit about when it's all white, that you just got to be a little extra careful. But I haven't had any problems with those other ones, and I don't anticipate having any issues with good old Thrawn here. Look, like those hands, like that's pretty cool. I don't know if I would pose him that way, like he's about to eat or something. But yeah, he's cool. Look at that, he's cool. I mean, it almost looks like a photograph. Almost looks like a photograph. So yeah, for sure, I need to get around to pre-ordering Thrawn. Sometimes these guys sell. I don't think the other ones have yet from Ahsoka, but you never know. You never know. Son of a chiss. I like it. Our Hot Toys even roll. They do a good job. They do a good job. And like I said, they're going to do Balin and Shin before Hasbro does them in TVC. Just watch. Definitely a day one pre-order for me. His head sculpt is insanely good. Same with the others. I want a Shin so bad. Yeah, I know. They would do an amazing job, I think, with Shin and with Balin. Like, I just feel like they would. They would get the likenesses down like perfectly. That's awesome. You already pre-ordered it, Mary. I need to do the same too. I'm glad that you're also in on all this. So, yeah, all bangers so far, and I hope they keep the momentum going, because you know they haven't announced those two yet. They haven't announced Ahsoka the White yet. They haven't announced who else. I think that might be all we get from the show. Maybe Morgan Elsbeth. I can see them doing her, but she probably wouldn't be the biggest seller, I don't think. But if they do Morgan, I do hope that they do both heads, so you can get like the pre Night Sister head and then the post Night Sister head. And they give her the sword of Talzin. That would be awesome. Yeah, this is a cool one. Oh yeah, that's a good point, Adam. Ezra hasn't been announced either. Yeah, maybe they'll do Ezra in his Last Supper outfit. I think I'd probably get that. Well, I mean, I would if I'm all in. I gotta get that too. Yeah, give us that, please. Last Supper, Ezra. Enoch. Yeah, Susan, that's possible. Enoch would probably be a cool one. I can see them doing that. Night Trooper, possibly. The Night Sisters would be cool, but or the Great Mothers, but I don't know if they would do those. I don't know if they would do those. Maybe they would. Hot Toys surprises me sometimes. Sometimes you don't think you're going to do something, and then they do it. Hot Toys is more realistic than Madame Tussauds. life-size wax figures. Nice. And welcome, Ray, Death Ray. I have a friend that works at Madame Tussauds, and he does a great job. But yeah, like Hot Toys is unbelievable with what they do. The quality is there. Yeah, the price, things are pricey. Like this figure right here is what? This one right here, Thrawn, is $250. That's actually not too bad. Because some of these newer Hot Toys cost like $300. Like that's actually not too bad for the caliber of figure you're getting. Like I said, payment plans. Payments don't even start until September of 2024. You got plenty of time. If you wanted to do the payment plan, you got plenty of time to save for it because payments don't start until September next year. Yeah. That's not bad. That's not bad. Considering prices, think about the percentage that prices go up with Hasbro. Think about the vintage collection. Think about the Black Series. They've jumped like what, 20% in price, 25% in price in last year and a half. I mean, even 5 years ago, this probably would have cost $225, and now the price is $255. That's not too bad. It's an increase for sure, but it's not anywhere near percentage-wise what you see with Hasbro. So, I mean, this really isn't too bad. Price isn't too bad at all. And Troopers, they usually cost even less. So if they did Enoch, or if they did a Night Trooper, probably would be even less. Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. All right. You want to talk about new acquisitions? I'll show you what I got this week. All right, we're going to move on to new acquisitions here. So I didn't get a whole lot, to be honest with you. And this one's actually, if you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw these. I posted them like a week ago or so. But these came in from Mike's Minifigs. I'm not a huge Lego collector. Like, honestly, I have some Lego. I have like the Mos Eisley Cantina. I got that. And I got a few of the Jurassic World things from like 2015. And these aren't official Lego, but they're used, I think, with Lego parts and like some unique printing and customizations. So I got two of the Mike's Minifigs custom Wednesday figures. And this one's pretty nice. I love that how it has Thing in there. And she looks really good. She looks really good. I love the little TVC style card back that she comes with. And then I also got this one right here. It's a little bit more of a deluxe one, I guess. She's got the umbrella. And the glare is terrible. But yeah, she looks good. Really cute. I still say I want actual action figures of these, though. I want somebody to step up and make like officially licensed like Wednesday figures, like action figures. I don't care if it's like 6-inch or 3 3/4. I imagine maybe NECA might be up for that, but I'd prefer if it were another company, like say Bandai, maybe like Tamashii Nations. Even though they'd be pricier, that'd be awesome because they would do a good job and they wouldn't break. I love to see that. The other thing I got in, this is really the only other thing I've gotten in. Like I said, it was a slow week. Sometimes we need that as collectors. But I finally got the vintage collection N1. Finally got the N1. So Target was running a sale, $25 off $100 on toys or more. And this was already on sale, so it was then $25 off. So I got a pretty good deal on it. And then Amazon copied the deal, as they sometimes do. But yeah, this is cool. It's got a nice weight to it. Assembly was a little tricky, like putting on these wings is a little tricky. But it's really nicely detailed. I was afraid that I was missing an engine cover because, as you see here, there's an engine cover right here, but there's not one on this side. And when you look at the instructions, it kind of makes it seem, like there should be two. Like it says A and B. So I started thinking, oh shoot, there's a part missing. Like I started like kind of like not freaking out, but like getting a little disappointed. But then my friend Tim from Collect Jurassic said, no, Victoria, like it's actually just comes with one, but you can put it on either engine. It's like, oh, so it's not missing a part. So the instructions were just weird. And then you can either put in with with Grogu with Mando, or you can put R5D4's head in there. And I went with Grogu because I thought that was cool. In Mando, I have him in the cockpit, but this isn't the Mando that came with the N1. The N1 comes with a carded Mando, and he has a dark saber. He's got the Beskar spear. It's a nice figure. I didn't want to open it. I am a carded completist, so I didn't open it. But what I did is I actually put Razor Crest Mando in here, which has the soft goods cape. Now, my Razor Crest Mando is in the Razor Crest up on the shelf, but I had actually bought 2 more loose from Tangori on eBay like 2 years ago, just hoping that one day they would come in handy for something. And lo and behold, it came in handy for putting in the N1. So he's in there, and he looks good. It looks really good. I didn't need all the accessories open because you can put them in here. It has a little compartment for them, which is nice. But if you bought the big multi-pack that has Moff Gideon and the Dark Trooper and Mando and Grogu, then you already have all those accessories anyway. So I ended up just not using those in here. But so you get 2 display bases. One is like a bigger one where you can like shift it a little bit. I put this one on here because it's a little more low profile, doesn't take up as much room, and I have it on the shelf. So that's what I have on here. It's really nice. I like this quite a bit. I had seen it in person at SDCC. Kind of looks like a stingray, doesn't it? Like a stingray, like a real one. My only little gripe about it is that the tip of the antenna is a little, you see how it's like a little crooked? It's a little bent, warped. That's my only gripe. But I mean, other than that, it's pretty awesome. It's got a nice weight to it. Yeah, I think it was a little more metallic in the show. Really, the only metallic bits you have are like here in the front. But it's nice. They did a good job with it. I like it. It's a lot of fun. I mean, it's not like it doesn't have launching missiles and stuff. Try to carefully, gingerly set it over here. Please don't fall. But it's a cool toy. Assembly required. It's totally, even though it's pricey, like getting the $25 off, like kind of made it more worth it, honestly. Yeah, so if you can get it on a deal, especially, don't miss out on the N1 because it's one of the more fun and enjoyable vehicles that they've made, I believe. I believe. Those are my 2 acquisitions. That was basically that. So yes, I did see these Ray Death Raid, like they're doing the Toonie Tears. I have some of the Toonie Tears. I have the Nun, like the glow in the dark one, like it was a variant. But I want like articulated figures. I imagine Pelimato saying you can put it on either engine. You only get one. I can too. You totally imagine that. Yeah, I really want articulated. I agree, Mary. I really want articulated, like detailed figures that are high quality. And yeah, I'd love Bandai to do them because I think Bandai would do a good job with them. Like NECA does great looking sculpts, but sometimes they don't last very long. Nice, you completed the buckets. Yeah, I was saying at the top of the show that I completed all 3 last year. This year I was picking and choosing. Or really, that's the only one I got so far. I could go back and get another one. There's still a few more days to Halloween. I could go back for sure. Another thing I want to tell you guys. If you tuned in last week, then you saw my new friend, R3V8. Let's go ahead and turn them on. R3V8, just in case you were not present or you didn't miss the replay or did miss the replay. R3V8 is the droid that I built at Droid Depot last week. And it looks like I don't have his operator here, but R3 is getting updated. I mentioned that one of my favorite thing about these Droid Depot droids is the customizability of them. Customability? What's the right word? Help me out. I should know this, but the level of customizing that you can do on these. Like Disney at Droid Depot sells like different panels you can buy. They sell accessories. They sell the little jets for the side. They sell all kinds of stuff you can buy for your droids, which is really cool. So he's getting upgraded. R3V8 is getting upgraded. I already ordered some parts. So possibly in time for next week's stream, you'll see the customizations in place. I don't want to reveal too much yet of what's going to change, but I can tell you that he's not going to be all red right here. I can tell you that. Okay, there's going to be some differences. Some differences that you're going to see next. As long as my parts come in by next week and I can get that done before the next stream, you'll get to see it. If not, then I'll hold those over for the next stream. But yeah, expect him to look a little more dapper, I would say, a little more, a little nicer. I mean, he looks great. He looks nice already. I don't want to offend him, but he's going to look even better because he's going to be a little more, he's going to be a little more tailor-made to what his intent was, to be the mechanic for my car, essentially. So I can't wait to show you guys once I got those in place. But he is kind of like a co-host. He may even be joined by another friend before too long, or two. All I can say about that so far. But yes, he is a nice droid for sure. Right, R3? 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 I think he's asleep. So we're not going to bother him. But yeah, so I'm excited to show you guys that. It's going to be cool. And yeah, that's the acquisitions. That is my collection news. That is the new reveals for this week. I want to know, does anybody have a ghost story? It's Halloween, y'all. I want to hear your ghost stories. If you have ever seen a ghost, you ever heard a ghost, you ever sensed a ghost, you ever felt like there's been a ghost around you, I want to know about it. I want to know about your ghost experiences because it's Halloween and I love ghost stories. Okay, I love ghost stories. Unfortunately, my friends Tom and Dave aren't with me tonight because, as you guys probably know, whenever they're around, we get into ghost stories, we talk aliens and all. I don't know how it always winds up that way, but we do. So if any of you have had a ghostly experience, I want to hear about it. Let me know what that story was. I'll tell you a couple. I'm sure we're going to lose half the audience in these next few minutes here, but that's okay. Only the real ones will stick around. So my very first ghost experience. Let's move this a little closer. My very first ghost experience was when I was a little kid. I was probably about 3, maybe 4, and it was at my parents' house. They actually built a brand new house back then. It was just like a custom home, and I was playing with my sister. And we were kind of like running around the living room, and something we were not even touching was like a lamp in the living room, which was like in the middle of a coffee table, and it just went like forward and it crashed on the floor and broke. It was like a clay lamp, like shattered. And of course, my mom came in really upset, saying that we broke it, and we're like, no. It slid across the table and fell, and it broke. Yeah, so that was weird. The next one that happened to me was several years after. I was probably like in high school, but I was sitting in the living room watching TV, and I was like in the back part of like the living room, like on the couch, and my mom was like on a couch a little closer to the TV. That scared the crap out of me. I guess he's awake. My mom was on the couch a little ahead of me. And I think my sister may have been like on a seat or something, like off to the side. And in the exact same spot where years prior that lamp had fallen off the table, in the exact same spot, my mom had these trees, and they were like fake trees, like wax leaves, like like indoor leaves. It just like shook like that. Like the tree shook. The tree shook. And I was like, whoa. I said, Mom, did you see that? And she's like, huh? It's like, why is it only me that sees these things? Um, the next one after that, and this would have been a few years after that, I was probably like very early. I was probably like towards the very, I think it was right after high school actually. Um, I remember it was New Year's Eve. It was late. It was like 2 in the morning. And the only reason I was out is because my grandparents had come over for New Year's Eve, but my grandma went home early, in their car, she and my grandfather's car. And I drove my grandfather home because she had taken their car. And after I dropped him off, it was like 2 in the morning. It was cold. It was like in the 30s. It was like foggy, like perfect setting for like a horror film, to be honest. And after I dropped him off, I went home. The route I was going to take was not possible. The route I normally would have taken because the street was closed or something. I wasn't able to take it. So I ended up going like kind of a little bit of a longer route that took me kind of a little more into it was a little more desolate, I would say, but the only thing out there were like these 2 nursing homes. And I get to this four-way stop sign, and there's these nursing homes on the side. And I see out of the corner of my eye, I notice there's like a black figure standing there. And I'm pulling up to the stop sign, and I just feel like, don't look at it. Like, I don't know, I just had like a bad vibe. I was like, don't look at it, don't look at it, don't look at it. Pull up to the stop sign, turn, go home. I start turning. I'm driving down the street. I look in my rearview mirror and I still see it there. It's like a black figure. And I'm starting to think like, sure, it could have been a person, but it's New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. Now at this point, it's like 2 in the morning. It's like in the 30s, the temperature. It's foggy. You can barely see, more than like 100 feet in front of you. Why is somebody out this late? And out by these 2 nursing homes, it was like a totally black, like I couldn't see any features, and it was just black. And they had like a white hat, and they were holding it was like a white, like a sombrero, like a wide brim hat, and they had something in their in their hand, I don't even know, like a satchel or something. And I drove by there, again a few days later, and there was nothing there. Like I thought maybe it was a sign, or maybe it was like something that I just couldn't make out, but no, there was nothing there. So it was either a person or it was something else. But either way, it was pretty creepy. I want to read your stories before I continue. My grandma visited me 6 months after she died. Freaked the hell out of me. Ooh, that's interesting, Tim. That is interesting. I'd love to hear more. Britton and myself, but I love Wanda Sykes' ghost story. Yeah, she's funny. Yeah, that's an interesting one. What if a helicopter knocked over the vase? Yeah, we got to pass that one on to Tom. He would like to hear that. The ghost is communicating through the R3 unit. Yeah, could be. That was weird. I grew up in Ohio, and man, that place is haunted. I'll bet. I never been to Ohio, but I want to go. I want to go for sure. I encountered the ghost of Hasbro Pulse, and I was cleaning my bookshelf, and an old legacy collection booklet fell out of nowhere. Yeah, that's scary, because then you can compare it to what we get now, and it's like night and day. We lived in a house that had a converted attic, and I was the only one to see a table completely flipped over. Ooh, that is scary, Pico B1. That's very scary. I once had a dream. I opened my closet door, and inside was a quiet, snowy forest. Suddenly a voice said, I'm in the room with you, but the voice was not in the dream. It was my room. Woke me up. That's interesting. Very interesting. It sounds like maybe a loved one, I want to say, that is very interesting. It doesn't sound scary to me. That sounds like a quiet, snowy forest, and I'm in the room with you. Like, that sounds like nice to me. Like, it doesn't sound like anything scary. I'll tell you recent ones. Back in March, I went to Texas to visit my parents, to visit my family. And I went, both of my grandfathers have been gone for well over a decade at this point, like 15 years, I believe. So I went to visit my mother's father's, where he's interred at the cemetery. I went, I had some time alone with him, and I just kind of like, just said a prayer and just, like expressed that, I missed him and whatnot. But as we were driving out of the cemetery, like as we were literally like the car was leaving from the cemetery onto the road, I got a text message. And I grabbed my phone and I'm like, I start like looking at it. I'm gonna pull it up right here. And I get this random, like literally as we are leaving, and it says, trying to find the message. It's from a random number that I had never in my life seen, so I had no idea like what it was or who it was. All I know is this is weird. The message said, so nice to talk to a sweet and loving person like you. As I was driving out from the cemetery onto the road, that's the message I get. Weird. Very, very, very weird. Is it a sign? Is it my grandpa? Is it coincidence? As Jim Gordon would say, you're not allowed to believe in coincidences. I don't know. But all I know is it was surprising because I was like, of course this would happen to me. Of course it would happen to me. Who else would it happen to? My mom agreed with that. Yeah, so that was interesting. Just today, my husband and I went to an art store. We'd gone to pick up some pizza for dinner, and then we went to an art store as we were waiting for it to get made. And we go into it's not a store; it's like an art gallery kind of thing. We walk in, and like I said, after a few minutes of being in there, I just like feel like the air is like dense. Like I feel like it doesn't look scary. It doesn't feel scary. Like it's bright, nicely lit. Like the sunlight's coming in these huge windows, and it's pretty spacious. But I feel like just like an overwhelming sense of, I don't know, like I just feel a little like I need to get out of there and get some fresh air. But I stayed. We were there for like 10, 15 minutes, just kind of walked around. And the lady was really nice that was working in there, and she talked to us a little bit. And as I was walking out, I was like, I asked her, does anything strange happen in here? And she said, oh, like anything strange? Not really. And she's like, but she said the owner, the previous owner, passed away, and this was her art gallery. And I feel like sometimes you can sense her presence in here. And she's like, do you feel it? And I'm like, maybe. Things are interesting. Like I feel like we feel sometimes like we have all the answers, but we don't. We only have a few of the answers. There's so much to this world, to this universe, this galaxy, that we just don't know. We don't understand that. Maybe one day we will, or maybe we won't. But there are things that are just a mystery. My greatest story, I think I've told this one here before on Social Hour, but I call it my greatest ghost story. If you want to have a ghost experience, the one place you got to go is the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel, which was built in 1927. Hosted the very first Academy Awards. It's right there smack dab in the middle of Hollywood. It's a very old hotel. You go in there and it has that like Spanish like revival sort of design, especially on the inside. Like it's got like the wooden beams and all the art on the ceiling. It's beautiful, gorgeous, timeless. But I've stayed there numerous times, and I feel like every time I stay there, something weird happens. But the greatest one of all, I actually have okay, so I'll tell you two. The first one was I went in there, and they have a fountain in the lobby. And I took a photo of the fountain. I wasn't staying at the hotel. This was before I ever stayed there. I was just walking through. I took a photo of the fountain, And when later on, it was probably like days later, I was looking at the photo, and at the top of the photo, when you zoom in, there's like a black figure standing there, and it's odd. Um, yeah, it's really odd. But the most prominent one for me was staying there in 2021. I remember, this was the second night out of a 2-night stay in this one room on the 10th floor. And I was staying in the room, and I was awakened like really early in the morning. Like daylight was just maybe barely there. I don't even think there was daylight yet. It was like 4 or something in the morning, almost 5 in the morning. And I woke up because I felt a kiss right here. And it didn't feel cold. It didn't feel weird. It felt just like a normal kiss. And the first thing I think is, my husband. That's where my mind goes, right? Of course. Even our dog was staying with us that night. We took her to the hotel with us. She was in her. I look up. She's in her cage. She's asleep. She's not awake. She's asleep. I look over at my husband. He's fast asleep, almost like snoring. Who kissed me? What kissed me? I don't know. Like I said, it wasn't cold. It didn't feel weird. It just felt like a kiss. It didn't feel like threatening. It didn't feel good, but it was a kiss. That's all it was. It was a kiss. And yeah, at the time, it kind of like freaked me out a little bit. I'm like, what the hell? This is weird. But yeah, it happened. It certainly happened. But what was kind of cool was a couple weeks later, I have a friend that runs a really popular Hollywood history blog on Facebook, and she posted that she was staying in the Roosevelt, and she was staying on the 10th floor, which is the same floor that I stayed at. So I sent her a message and I said, "Hey, how was your stay?" And she told me it was great, but this one night when I was staying there, I woke up because I felt somebody kissing me. I said, "Hey, well, what room are you staying in?" She said 10,001, and I told her, "This happened. Same exact thing happened to me only weeks ago in room 10,002." Weird. Very, very weird. And I'm staying there again in 2 weeks, so I'm staying there again in a couple of weeks. Yeah, not in that room, but if you're familiar with the amazing actor Montgomery Clift, he actually lived in that hotel, the Hollywood Roosevelt, when he was making the film From Here to Eternity, which is a great film if you haven't seen it. And he stayed in the room I'm going to be staying in for those 2 nights. And I have stayed in this room before, actually, and nothing happened that time. But yeah, he lived in that room for a period of time when he was making that movie. So we'll see. Maybe I'll have another tale to tell. Yeah, Mary, that's a good point. Maybe it was Marilyn. Marilyn never lived in that hotel. Maybe didn't even stay in that hotel, but she was photographed at that hotel by the pool. So yeah, I don't know, you guys. Like I said, we don't have all the answers to everything. Life is interesting. Sometimes we think we have everything figured out, but we never do. There's always more that we're learning. Maybe one day science will explain these things. Maybe it won't. Maybe we'll have to figure these things out for ourselves and understand, have our own hypotheses about this stuff, based on our own experiences, based on our own beliefs. It's interesting. I have more ghost stories. I'll leave it at that. Those are the, I'll tell you one more. And this is one you can actually verify. Some of you may probably know this because I've talked about it before. You may have been tuned into that exact episode back in, I think it was in March. I was talking to Laser Pants here on Social Hour. He was my guest. I was sitting right here in this chair doing what I'm doing right now, talking to you guys. And right here next to me, I hear just like that. In that live stream, you see me go like this. You see me react to it. I didn't say anything because, I have a guest on. I'm not going to say, oh, I just heard like a noise next to me. But at the very end of that stream, I went back and I rewatched it. And sure enough, you can hear like right there. My friend Brad from the Jurassic Park podcast was tuned in, and he actually took that little piece of audio and he enhanced it, and then he sent it back to me. And yeah, clear as day, it was right here. It wasn't, it wasn't. My husband was asleep at the time. My dog wasn't in here. Nobody was in here. It was just me. But clear as day, right here, it was like weird. And that one was caught on Social Hour. So you never know who's going to show up to the Cantina. You never know who's, we accept and we love all kinds of people, all kinds of beings here in the Cantina. Even the ghosts seem to enjoy it. So you remember that Pico B one? Me and my wife stayed at Stanley Hotel, Colorado, and I can for you. Unfortunately, nothing supernatural happened. Bring the Haslab ghost trap just in case. It's not out yet. I'm going to have to bring the Neutrona wand, maybe. Mysterious kissing Hollywood chimp that was in the walls. Free kisses. They have some really good room service. No, it's, it's weird when you get touched, like physically touched. And I have another story where I've been touched by an unseen person, thing, force, presence, I don't know. But like I've said before, maybe ghosts are just invisible aliens, right? Maybe they're just invisible aliens. You guys, it's been fun. Thanks for hanging out for me for the last hour and 14 minutes, 15 minutes soon. I enjoy doing these every week. I enjoy the regulars, especially. Thanks to all of you for coming in. Britt, Adam, Mary, Pico B1, all my friends in here, honestly. Paul, Bob, all you guys. Thank you for Jason. Thank you guys for being in here and hanging out with me on Friday night. It's my favorite thing to do on Friday nights is hang out at the end of the work week. It's a great way to unwind and to hang out. So I hope that you enjoy your weekend. I hope that you have a very happy and safe Halloween. Get that candy. Enjoy the treats. This is the time to do that. So, very nice, Mary. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go watch a scary movie. Actually, I was watching one a little earlier, so maybe this might be a little bit of a recommendation. But I was watching. It wasn't like terribly scary. It's kind of a little bit comedic. Totally Killer on Amazon Prime. Totally Killer. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. So that's one recommendation. Not terribly scary, but it is fun. It was a good movie. And good ratings are on Tomatoes, so I guess that's good. But yeah, you guys, thank you very much. Appreciate you, as always. No matter where you're tuning in, out in the galaxy. Please have a safe, happy Halloween. And glad you can make it too, Susan. Thank you very much. Next week on Cantina Social Hour, I do have a guest joining me. I have Kayla on Instagram, Silver K, from the GTFO podcast on YouTube, Geek the F Out. And she's going to be hanging out with me here in the Cantina next Friday. Her first time on Social Hour. It's going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to having a fun chat with Kayla. So I hope you guys are able to make it. And yeah, we'll talk then. Again, be safe, be well, enjoy the scary movies, enjoy the candy, enjoy the treats, have fun. Awesome. Glad you liked it, Mary. And I will see you guys in the next edition of Cantina Social Hour. Be well, be safe. Peace.